Hi guys, I'm making this video today to show how to do the front cut frontal method, the cut frontal method when you are making a unit. So I have my customer's measurements already, and her temple to temple is a 12. The standard closure comes in 13 by 4 or 13 by 6. So in order for me to construct the wig so that her frontal is the correct specifications for her head, I have to cut out the excess. So because the frontal measures 13 inches across and my customer is only measuring at a 12, in order for me to get the frontal from a 13 to a 12, I need to cut off an inch from the frontal, right? And because there are two sides of her head, I need to divide that by 2. So because I need to remove an inch and I have 2 sides, I need to cut a half an inch from each side of this frontal so that when it measures straight across, it is measuring at a 12, which is what her specification is. Okay? So to do that, I take my measuring tape. I'm going to measure to make sure that my frontal is 13 inches, and it is. And then I am going to measure a half inch off of each side. So on the side where the number 1 is, the 1 inch mark starts from this tab and not from the number 1. Okay, so you want to be careful about that because you would end up cutting off too much on one side. So you're going to mark the half an inch on your frontal, and then you're going to use your scissors to cut them. So I have my pen that I use to make my guidelines. And let's see if I can move it over some. And I am going to take that pen and I'm going to mark a half inch on each side of my frontal. And once I have it marked off, then I am going to take my comb and part out that half an inch. And you're gonna just make sure that you're accurate. And because I don't want to cut off any of the hair that I shouldn't be cutting off, I'm going to once again use my spray. And I'm being very careful, you guys, because this is HD lace and I don't want to snag the lace while I'm trying to get it my measurements correctly. Alright, and then if you want to be extra sure, you can put it on the front. Your tape will be upside down, but you want to put it to the front to make sure you're at half an inch. And I should have gotten my brush, but I haven't customized anything yet, but I did color. I did dye this hair jet black. And so I'm just going to go on the other side and do the same thing on the other side. You're going to part out the hair. Get the hair that you are not going to cut off out of your way. Be careful because you don't want to rip your lace. Make sure that you're at that 1/2 inch mark on both sides. And then once I have that 1/2 inch parted out on each side, you are going to take your scissors and you are going to cut. Now, one side looks like it's more than the other. So I'm just going to make sure that this side is correct because this is the side that looks like I'm cutting off more hair. And a 1/2 inch is not a whole lot, guys. So you just want to be careful because you don't want this to get messed up at all. Like, you don't want your measurements to be off, because then it's not going to go to her ears like it's supposed to. And I know that the measurements are correct because we've measured her more than one time, and this is her 3rd wig order. Alright, so we have our 1/2 inch off of each end. We're going to take our scissors and we are going to cut. And that is all that it is when you do a cut frontal method, is that you're going to actually cut the frontal to the customer's specification. So once you cut it, then your frontal is going to look like this. It's going to have the cuts on the edge. And you're just going to put it onto your wig cap and then block out your guidelines. And the reason why you cut it before you mark your guidelines is because the hair that is going to meet up with this needs to be sewn directly onto the sides of it. Like right the same way that you do your last track on your closure, like right up against it is what you're going to do with that track that meets up with the frontal. You're going to sew it like almost on it. That is going to be that close that it's going to be almost on it. So for anyone who wasn't sure how to do this and how to figure out how to get your frontal to the right size and where to cut and when to cut, I hope that this video was helpful to you guys. If you're enjoying this content, please subscribe to my channel and please thumbs up this video. To all of my current subscribers, I want to thank you for your support. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you guys for joining. Have a great day.